Rolling in the sound of speeding. Hi, welcome to another episode of This Week with Drew. This Week with Drew for Thursday, January 14th, 2021. And on today's episode, we're just gonna fucking, I don't know, who the fuck knows, but you know. Hit him with the freestyle intro. Big Drew in the beginning of the show. He got a flow and he can know what he wants to know. In his brain for show, he got books and e-learning and all sorts of resources. And he's got the, I don't know what the fuck. Hi, welcome to the show. This is another episode of This Week with Drew for Thursday, January 14th. What did I say? 2021. What's going on? How the fuck you doing? I'm doing okay. I hope you had a good week so far. How was my week? Because it's Thursday. Okay, so oh fuck, just kicked the shit out of the camera there. Buddy, okay, so it's time for me. I'm all tangled up here. I'm all fucking caught up. I got school starting again on next Tuesday, right? So I've just been Drewy Doughboy. Mark the return of Drewy Doughboy. I baked bagels this week and a focaccia. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sausage, and I'm gonna make a flaky pie crust, and I'm gonna make a fucking sausage rolls with homemade. I'm gonna make homemade sausage rolls because my sweet mother-in-law, my girlfriend's mom, got me a fucking sausage grinding thing attachment for our KitchenAid mixer for my birthday this year. So I'm gonna grind up some meats because I always wanted to go to sausage camp when I was in like grade 8. All the kids, so Nate, the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology, they had a program, a day camp for kids, and it was 5 days long, and there was a bunch of different stuff that they offered, right? And I was looking at it, and then I saw they had the culinary program who was offering a sausage making camp for kids, and I fucking love sausage like all my life. I've always loved sausage. Breakfast sausages were my favorite on road trips growing up. Breakfast sausages stuffed into cheese buns, bro, for breakfast on a road trip, fucking A. So I was like so stoked on like going to sausage camp, and I was like, yo, I was like trying to get my friends. I was like, yo, we should go to sausage camp, and everyone's like, like they all laughed at me, like we're gonna go to like sports camp, like, and I was like, nobody wants to go to sausage, and then they would like, and then they made fun of me. It became a weapon, like, ooh, sausage boy, and then they like were like, sausage yeah, like you want your sausage yeah, and then they did that voice to me for like I don't know how long. It felt like years. It was probably only a couple weeks, but I wanted to go to sausage camp, man. And it was like none of the other kids wanted to go with me. And I never went. And I was sad. And I went to sports camp with all the rest of them. And I sucked because I was fat. And then so then I told this story to Courtney's family at a dinner one night. And I think I might have pulled a heartstring or two. And then Sherry, my girlfriend's mom, got me the sausage making thing. So I haven't, and that was like a while ago. So I haven't been able to use it yet just because I've been like so occupied with like school and stuff. But like, I'm gonna make sausage now, finally. So fuck you, all the Nate kids who are making fun of me for wanting to go to the Nate program for sausage making. Okay, well, there you go. What the fuck? So so then I'm making food again. So now I gotta go buy hog casings, bro. I gotta buy pork back fat. I gotta buy fucking pork. I'm gonna make pork sausages. I want to make like breakfast sausages with sage and fennel, but I also kind of want to make like spicy Italian sausages. I want to make like all sorts of sausages. I have this book called Ratio. Highly fucking swear by it. Ratio by Michael Rollman. It's like a cooking theory book. I probably talked about it before on the podcast, but Ratio, man, you have to pick that shit up if you're interested in cooking, because he just kind of tells you, it's not a recipe book. It's like an anti-recipe book. So it's just like how to bake a pie. And then it's just like, well, it's 3 parts flour, 2 parts fat, and 1 part water. And then you just take that ratio and then you just fucking bake a pie with it. So if you got flour, and then so you got 3 parts flour, whatever the fuck. So you just based it on like, you know, how much butter you got, pretty much, you know? So you just got a stick of butter, weigh that out. Okay. Well, then divide that in half for the water, and then triple that for the flour. And now you got yourself a fucking pie crust, bro. And then they're like, well, now you fucking do whatever you want with a pie. What, you want strawberry? Go ahead, put some strawberries in there. What, you want meat? Go ahead, put that fucking meat in there. So it's not like, oh, this is how to bake like a blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like, this is what a fucking pie is. And then it's what a fucking pie is, bro. And then it's your canvas to paint upon. So it's a really good book because it makes you realize like everything is like that, man. Sauces, like a hollandaise. What's the difference between a hollandaise and a béarnaise, bro? Fucking tarragon. It's, and what's the difference? Yo, you know, if you fucking, what the fuck did I read the other night? I was just reading, oh, if you take a cake batter and instead of adding baking powder, you add yeast, that becomes a brioche. Isn't that fucked up? I didn't know that. So he kind of like breaks shit down into just like ratios where it's just like all you really need to remember is like, so now I know I could make a pie crust of 3-2-1, bro. And then he's also got the Chicago biscuits, the 3-1-2. So you do 3 parts flour, 1 part fat, 2 parts water. So you get a little bit more water for the biscuit, right? And then you start to look at things on the fucking batter to dough continuum, you know, where it's like the thinnest possible thing is like a thin like crepe batter, like a thin pancake batter, all the way up to thicker, all the way up to bread dough, which is the thickest and the stiffest, right? The batter dough continuum. And then once you kind of have a grasp on the batter dough continuum, then you're like, okay, now what kind of add-ins and flavors? And then you're like, fuck, man, like you're in this kind of like flour universe, bro, with eggs, leavening, baking powder, soda, yeast. What sort of flavor? Vanilla, herbs? Are we gonna savory, sweet, man? And you all kind of, and it's like fucking, it's like A Beautiful Mind, bro, when he sees the numbers and they all fucking come together. And I read that book when I was training for MasterChef Canada, which I'm fucking still so sad. There is nothing. I hate that, man. Every fucking time that I get on a reality show, it's like I get cut right before the fucking shit happens. It's like, oh man, this happened on Amazing Race. This happened on MasterChef. And it's like, I fucking have these, I don't know why. I make it all the way to the final round of casting. Like, they're like, you're through, you're pretty much on the show, and you're not on the show. And then it's like, fuck, man. Like, and then with fucking Amazing Race, I don't know if I told this story. I probably did. But the fucking coronavirus happened. It's like, we're fucking pretty much ready to go. And then the fucking coronavirus pops off. So, I don't know. And then MasterChef, I was like, okay, I'll come back next season, right? And because I see why they didn't pick me. They picked this guy, there was this guy, Josh, because like when you're like, it's like reality shows, you're not like, it's, you're like in your own category, right? So you're like, okay, so like, you're like fighting for like the white guys, the straight white guy spot, right? So it's not like you just have to be better than all the straight white guys in there. You don't have to be better than everybody. You just have to be better than the straight white guy. So fucking, so they picked this guy, Josh, who had applied every single year for 6 years. And that was just my first audition for it, right? And I made it all the way through to the fucking end before TV. But I can see why the producers picked Josh because he made it all the way through to the end. And he was like a Saskatchewan meat and potatoes guy. And that's kind of what I am. I just fucking cook like savory meat and potatoes, French-based cooking, you know? And that's how I sold myself too. Like I made a fucking tomato soup with grilled cheese croutons for my audition dish. And it was so funny in the MasterChef room. There was people with like venison tartare with sous vide egg yolks on top. And I was like, oh my fucking God. And one guy's just like, yeah, I sous vide it. Cause you know, vegetable proteins break down at 138. So if you ride it at 137.5, and I'm just like, I did. No, I knew that. And I'm like, holy fuck, I'm way out of my league here. I just brought a soup and then I put it in a bowl and then I put a plate underneath the bowl. And that was my fucking presentation. And then I made a sourdough and then I made a grilled cheese out of it. And then I cut the grilled cheese into squares and I made the like grilled cheese croutons. So, and I made the soup too. I made this chicken stock. I roasted the chickens. I made the fucking everything from scratch. So it was a really nice soup. Carrots and shit in there. I got a hair in my mouth. And fucking coconut milk to finish it. I wanted to do like a swirl. And then they're like, so then I'm like, but I never tried it. I didn't fucking practice before. I thought it would just make like a swirl. And then it just didn't. And then it just clumped. And I was like, ah, fuck. I was like, now I got to go like avant-garde. So then I tried to like fuck with it. And then you only had 3 minutes to plate your dish. And I was like, holy fuck. So I just pour my soup in the thing. put my croutons on there, and that was like 3 minutes. And some people prepared like swooshes with their plates. The girls who did desserts, it's like, holy fuck, man. How did you do that? And they're like, oh yeah, I practiced. Like I used to do it in 8, and then I got it down to 3, like just the other day. And it's like, oh my God, like I just dumped soup out of a fucking Stanley, one of those big green Stanley thermoses. I just made the soup at like, cause I was in Edmonton. I had my audition in Calgary. And then, so then I made the soup at my sister's house, and then I drove up to the audition in the morning. So I was like, okay, fuck, I got to like make the soup at like pretty much like, 3 in the morning, then go to bed for like 5 hours and then drive to Calgary for my audition. So then I did that. And then I just, dumped the soup, and then there was a guy told me after, because once the judging happened, people got to go around, and the judging took like 2 hours, and I was at the very end. I was the second last plate to be judged. And I'm like, well, my soup's gonna be all fucking cold now. What was the point of the thermos? I got this tomato gazpacho. And then, so I was like, whatever, fuck it, I'm already done, man, whatever. I'm just gonna go look around. And then people told me out, and then the guy, finally the chef comes to my thing, and then he eats it. He's like, eat my soup. He's like, tell me about your dish. And I had this story. I was like, oh yeah, like, cause it snowed or whatever. And then I was like, oh yeah, when it's snow day, like you used to get like tomato soup and grilled cheese, but it was Campbell's soup with fucking white bread and Kraft singles. So let's do some artisanal fucking sourdough bread with a fucking homemade soup, coconut, blah, blah, blah. And I called it Snow Day. That was the name of the dish. Which I thought, hey, man, that's pretty fucking good. And then he eats it, and the chef guy was like, he's like, why is that sweet? I'm just like, I don't know. I put carrots in there. Yeah, I roasted some carrots too. He's just like, tell me more. He's like, tell me how you made it. And I was like, just like I said, I fucking roasted the chicken. I made the chicken stock when I told him what went into the stock. And then I fucking told him about roasting the tomatoes and the fucking carrots together and the garlic and blah, 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 and making it all together, blah, blah, blah. And then the Stanley thermos. And I'm like, and then I was like, because I was like, I knew how to be culinary, but I didn't want to be like overly culinary. I wanted to be like an educated stoner at like, so I was just like, yeah. And then I had it in the thermos, like I let it chill in the thermos or whatever. And then he's like, yeah, this is good. And then some guy told me after, once we made it through, that they chopped us. They did 2 chop rounds just in the fucking Hyatt in Calgary. And I made it through both chop rounds. And then some guy was just like, after we made it through, it was like the final 8 or whatever in the Calgary round. He was just like, he was like, buddy, he's like, I did not think you were going to make it. I'm like, this fucking guy just brought a soup. Like one of the other contestants, he's like, this guy brought a soup. And I was like, I know. And then the guy was like, that better be a damn good soup. And because everybody got to try each other's food. And he's like, but I tried your soup. And I was like, fuck, that's like a damn good soup. And I was like, yeah, it is, man. So, yeah, fucking A, Master Chef, man. And then I told the guys when Danny and I auditioned for Amazing Race, I think that fucked us a little bit too, because I was just like, full disclosure, like I've also auditioned for Master Chef. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'm also like a Master Chef. They're like, I thought you were a comedian. I'm like, well, there's a lot about me you don't know. And then I think that was kind of just like, it's not like I'm trying to get on TV, but it's like, yeah, I am. Everybody who applies to the show is trying to get on TV. Like, what's wrong with that? Don't fault me for that just because I have actual motives in the entertainment industry. They're like, wow, these guys just want to get on because they might potentially actually benefit from it. Rather than these fucking soccer moms, Karen and Sharon, who aren't going to fucking parlay their short-lived fame into a fucking YouTube channel. Oh, no, I think I recorded this shit too loud today. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Okay, fucking A. Well, that's the, what the fuck more do you want? What do I want from me? I start school next week. I keep the fucking Monday and Thursday shows going. Thank you to my Patreons. You guys know who you are. I love you guys. And shout out to our sponsor, KingTutsCannabis.com. Bam, bam, and apparently none of you guys have been going to Doorstep Wellness. I don't fucking know why. So let's go to fucking King Tuts Cannabis is also our sponsor too. Maybe you guys are going there. So go to KingTutsCannabis.com. Use the promo code Drew for 10% off your order. And if it's your first time, they'll give you an extra fucking 15% off your order, buddy. So you get 25% off your order, 25% off your dope when you tell them that fucking Drew sent you. KingTutsCannabis.com. Smoke like an Egyptian. Well, I plugged the piano in for no fucking reason, dude. do bwee. I watched Soul on Pixar. Fuck, that's a good movie, bro. You guys gotta watch that movie. It's about the meaning of life and what's going on. Okay, play the fucking music. Will there be a bonus song?